Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. We're going to be covering your Office 365 technology roadmap for adoption, training, and beyond. My name is Kevin Vogel. I'm your moderator for this webinar. I have a couple of guest speakers with me. Chris Pyle. Chris.
Hey, Kevin. How are you doing?
Good. And Robert Vogel.
Good afternoon.
We're going to be going over the advantages of working with MessageOps and Champion on your Office 365 environment. What I'm going to do is just give you a couple quick infos about Champion itself and let you know what we've done in the past. Chris, You want to go over this?
Yeah, right. So first of all, thank you all very much. Everybody on the phone is a MessageOps member. Thank you very much for working with us. And, you know, just to let you know, we're up to about 1.7 million seats of Office 365 with approximately 1,700 companies that work with MessageOps. And God, we've put in more than 5 man-years worth of Office 365 migrations. And the reason why we wanted to have this call today was to really share with the MessageOps members, you know, the free tools and utilities and services that you get as a MessageOps member. And we're going to be reviewing a few of those just to make sure that you're taking advantage of you know, these great value-added services and tools that, you know, are included when you do business with MessageOps. So some of the value-added services, we don't have time to go over all of those today, but these are just some of the value-added services that we have. But what we're going to review today is we're going to reviewing MessageOps Discovery Scout. We're going to be reviewing the Office 365 adoption platform, which is really, right, Kevin, on fire on how many people are using this platform to help in change management and helping really unleash the business value of Office 365. We're going to be doing some demonstrations on that. And we also wanted to, you know, go over a little bit about the quarterly security and network assessments that you get for free as part of you know, being a MessageOps member, and we're going to show you some of the reporting that you get on a quarterly basis if you so choose to engage MessageOps to do this for you. So really, thank you very much. Now, Kevin, if they have questions, what are we going to be doing here? They're going to be typing it into the
chat window. In other words, on your right-hand side, you're going to be able to bring up the chat menu. We're going to be looking at it here. If you have a question, just enter your question in there. We'll try to answer them as we go along. If we miss one, we'll review them at the end, make sure that we try to answer all these. But as you probably know, Champion and MessageOps is available to you over the phone or even by going to our website. We have a live chat that you're able to talk to a real person, not automated, but real person on any of the questions you have almost all the time.
Great, fantastic. So I think what we're going to do first is, Rob, you're going to go over and we're going to talk about Discovery Scout. And, you know, so Rob, you came up, so again, we're offering this to all MessageOps members. So Rob, you know, you're the developer of this and you came up with the idea. Why did you come up with Discovery Scout? What's it all about, and how is it different than in-place e-discovery that Microsoft offers?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, Chris. So good afternoon, everyone. So the reason that I came up with this application is I've used Microsoft's e-discovery for years, and to say that it can be a hassle is kind of an understatement. It is very difficult for anybody to use. If you're technical, you may be able to stomach through it like I did and get it to work properly. So I wanted to try to find something that anybody could use. If you needed to give it to your legal department, your HR department, any single one of those people within a couple minutes could figure out how to use it and actually do e-discovery searches.
Now, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you have to be a domain administrator to be able to do those type of searches?
Well, yeah, it would be usually in Microsoft it requires global admin rights. Microsoft will never be forthcoming and tell you that that's what you require. They'll tell you that you'll only need a discovery management role to do that kind of work, and it's in part truthful because if you have a discovery management role, you can run PowerShell command line scripts and pull that information, but to do it through their GUI, you need to be a global admin.
So I think what we're saying is we're not here to replace in-place discovery by no means, but what we found, and again, Rob works on our managed services side of our house, and he gets a lot of requests, and so, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. So really, this is a quick tool, right? I mean, it's a great tool for administrators, great tool for HR or managers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main reason for this tool is normally this would be a job that's always been delegated to somebody in IT, because it is either needed to be done through PowerShell scripting. Even back on the days where it was on-prem, it wasn't an easy task. And then they put it into BPOS where it was just PowerShell script. So only somebody with global admin access and knowledge of PowerShell would be able to do it. And then finally they brought it over to Office 365 where they did incorporate a GUI, but it is not the easiest process to actually get this completed.
Right.
So why don't we show them what it looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole idea behind the program is it's installed directly onto your desktop or server, depending on where you want to place it. It's all done through .NET, so the application is easily installed as long as you have .NET 4.5 and PowerShell 2.0. You can install the application. To actually log into the application, you need to have two things, which is what keeps it secure. You need to be part of the discovery management role in Office 365, and that can only be given to you by a global administrator on your tenant. That way they can lock down who exactly is able to run these reports.
So, but before we go through all of this real quick, what are the use cases of why people would want to use Discovery Scout?
Absolutely, and I can tell you a few that I did myself. So I had a customer who came to me and said, we have security concerns that a couple of our users may be emailing confidential information over to one of our competitors. So in an e-discovery search, you can say which mailboxes you want to search, what it is you're looking for. In this case, you can search for the domain of those companies across whatever date range. If you want to leave it open, you can, and then it will pull back all that information, and then you hand that over to whomever you need to, their HR department, their legal, and they can take it from there.
And then what about, we also use it to catch viruses?
Absolutely. So I've had this a few times where a company will state that some of their users might have gotten malicious email with an infected attachment, and they want to know who in their organization also got that. So same idea, you in this case would plug in every single user in your tenant, so you're searching across your entire Office 365 tenant, putting in the information that you saw from that email, who did it come from, what was the subject or the body of the email, and it will pull back a list of every person who received that exact type of email.
And then also just for any type of discovery of basic mailboxes or multi-mailbox search that legal might ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if somebody deleted a folder or some emails and they can't recover it, this is another option to do that as well.
Oh, so this looks at the deleted folder too?
It looks at deleted items and also what's known as the Microsoft dumpster. So when you delete an item from the actual deleted items folder, it's retained on Microsoft servers for up to 14 days. And then after 14 days, it's purged. You can never get it back. So as long as you know that you deleted it, it's no longer there, and you have within 14 days, you can pull it back.
Oh, didn't they just expand how long the dumpster can be out there?
The dumpster itself is locked, and the only way that you can stop anything from being removed from it is to put something on litigation hold. The deleted items folder, the one that when you just press delete on an email and it puts it to, by default is 30 days. That's what your normal retention policy is. But Microsoft just recently expanded that, so you can put it up to, I believe it was 24,855 days.
Yeah, that's close, 24,855 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for doing that. So let's go ahead and just take a quick tour of the tool.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I was stating before, to log in, you're going to require two small things to get in. First is discovery management role. If you don't have that, you'll have to speak to your global administrator to give you that. Also, because this is a licensed software, whatever domain you're using to log in, we license that with your license, so only that domain can log into our software.
And to get that license, they just contact us over the chat or the phone call.
Correct.
And we give them the license. It's free.
And if you have multiple domains and you realize, oh, I missed a domain, you can always just reach out to us and we can add that easily to your license.
Okay, great. Great.
And once you log in, you'll get a connecting prompt. All that's going to show is it takes a minute or so for it to connect up to your Office 365 tenant. Once logged in, you'll be brought to a screen. Now, what it's actually showing here is the history of searches. So if you've never created a search before, all you're going to have is that Create New Search button. But every single search that you've actually made on this computer is going to be saved in a log. So if you have a legal team that does the same search every month for PCI compliance or what have you, they can literally just go back in here, click Run, click Edit, and they can just make small little modifications and run the same thing over and over again.
Now, this file that they're getting, is that a PST file, just like a regular?
It's actually saved directly into a new folder in a mailbox of your choice. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. So the search itself, we broke this down into 3 easy steps. So the first is, what mailboxes do I want to search? What am I searching for? And where do I want the results to be sent to? So, for example, if you wanted to search just a single person, so example I have here, if I wanted to search Chris, I can type in Chris, I can type in C, and it will give me every user that starts with the letter C, or every Chris that's on file. You just click the search button, it'll pull it up. All you do is click on them, add them to your search list. If you wanted to add every single person in your organization, you can. If you wanted to then realize, well, you know what, I don't want to search a couple people, all you have to do is click the little dumpster on the right-hand side, the little trash can, and that'll remove them from your search.
So that add everyone button down at the bottom is everybody?
It's every single licensed person in your tenant.
Okay. Does that include like distribution groups and everything?
It's per mailbox, not per distribution group. Okay. So if you have a shared mailbox, it'll search that. If you have a licensed user, it'll search that as well.
Okay.
And then at the top, you can name the search for future reference in case you wanted to go back and do what I was stating before. Once you've determined who you wanted to search, then you're going to pick, what am I searching? So every single feasible option that you can to search is found in the add parameters dropdown. So if you wanted to do to, so I know it's from this domain or this person, you can do a to, you can do a CC or from. If you know that there's a single word that that was in the body or subject of the email, you can do that. You can do the received or sent dates, size of the email. So I got a huge email from somebody. You can say, oh, anything that's over 10 megs, I want to get those back. Something with an attachment, and you know what the attachment's name is, you can pull that back. Item type, so you're like, I know it was a calendar invite. You can then pull all your calendar invites with that name. Also, like we were stating before, it pulls data from the dumpster. Now, by default, it won't do that unless you check off 2 checkoff boxes at the top. First is to say, I want to pull results from my dumpster. So I want to look at everything that's in my actual Outlook account, or I want to search also my dumpster, or if I only just deleted this thing, I don't need to look at everything inside my mailbox, you can just choose to search only the dumpster. Okay. That'll limit the search time for the overall search.
Okay. Click next.
And here's a good example. So I wanted to, for example, in this one, show all the results from my dumpster, and I want to look for an email that has either in the subject or the body the word test. Now that's what those booleans at the bottom are for, is you can really make this as verbose or as narrow a search as you want. If you're like, I want every email that came from Microsoft ever, you can search that. It will take a long time because you're searching across multiple mailboxes, but if you actually define it and say, I really want to just know between these 2 days what Microsoft sent, it'll be a much quicker search.
Okay.
So once you have your parameters in, you'll go over to the target mailbox, and this is essentially where this data is going to be put. Now, by default, Microsoft will only allow you to put that into what's known as a Discovery Search mailbox. It's a free 50 gig mailbox that Microsoft gives you, and only people, usually global admin or somebody who they provide the rights to, can look at that mailbox. Our option allows that anybody can search this mailbox. So by clicking other mailboxes, you can search across any mailbox in your tenant. So for example, if legal had a shared mailbox that they all shared out there, you can say, I want to use that mailbox, and then create a folder for it. So for example, I wanted to create a folder called Test2. The minute the search happens, it's going to find that mailbox, create a folder called Test2, and put all the results into that folder.
So just real quick then, so we added a mailbox. Mm-hmm. We did the search options with the and/or and what, is it BCC or CC, a to, from, all of that. Mm-hmm. Then we created a target box and where the results are going to be.
Correct.
So the person running this, do they actually see into the emails?
So the way that it works is when the actual search is completed, you'll get a view screen. This will give you a broad overview of what was found. So as you can see in my Test2 folder here, it found for that one mailbox, every folder that has an email that has the word test in it. And you can see, example, I just picked the team folder, for example. You can see it has 2 test emails in the body. To get a deeper dive of what's actually in those emails, you would then log into either OWA or your Outlook, go into that mailbox, and you can deep dive and look at all the emails just like they were your own. The only thing I will always state is that this isn't moving, cutting, or deleting the email from its original source. It's just making a carbon copy of it.
So you have to have permission to the mailbox that you sent it to.
Correct.
To be able to read it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's an example of what it would look like in OA. So the same thing that you saw before, I have here, and I can actually click into the email and read them or review them as necessary.
Great. So with the customers that you're working with right now, I mean, to me, it's really easy. It's 1, 2, 3. You set it up, and we're seeing within the thousands of customers that we work with that people are who have discovery rights. Mm-hmm. You can have discovery rights, but not global admin rights, and they can do their job with little or no interference with IT in general using Discovery Scout. Very simple, 3 steps once again, and it's very easy. They set it up. They can do all the searches. If it's the same query over and over again, they can set those up very easy. And it's a very great tool for all of you guys on the phone. We strongly suggest take advantage of it. Download it. Doesn't cost you guys anything. We'll set you up with a key and get it from there.
And I know, Rob, as Microsoft releases more ways of searching a thing, we're always looking at upgrading and coming up with new versions, which these people, as long as they have a license, they'll always get the new version.
Absolutely,
right?
And we absolutely listen to user feedback. I can't tell you how many features we've gotten that people have said, hey, it'd be really cool if it did this, and we're slowly incorporating those into the product.
Yeah, and I think the most recent one was it would be great if we could do it by group. I think it was
there's
a distribution group.
Yeah, so in the search, instead of putting a single email address, you put a distribution group. It'll pull a list of those users. We want to also search inactive mailboxes. So if you terminated an employee or they left and they're no longer licensed, you can also do the same searches.
So for those out there who are presently utilizing Discovery Scout, thank you for the feedback, and we'll continue to enhance the tool. And for those who aren't utilizing it, we really strongly suggest that take advantage of it. I think you'll find it a huge asset to you as well as your organization. So thank you. Okay, so now, Kevin, we're going to be reviewing some of the network and security assessments. And again, if anybody's got any questions, please throw them into the chat. Okay, so this is something that when we're speaking to our clients, some of you guys might be like, I got this covered. That's great. Others, hey, what do they have? And again, it's part of, as being a MessageOps member, you get some of this for free. So Kevin, we're just going to review these quarterly security and network assessments and what the MessageOps members get. And just review some of the reporting. Is that correct?
That's absolutely what we're doing. And this doesn't interfere with any of your existing security or networking monitoring tools that you might be using. We found, like you said, Chris, we have over 1,700 customers. The majority of our customers, I'll be honest with you, don't have network monitoring equipment, don't have security monitoring equipment in their facility today. So they take advantage of a lot of these tools. And really, the beauty of this is you can do this quarterly for both. Even though we put network assessment, you can still do it every quarter. We have no problem with using that. Talking about the security assessment, and it really does, what you don't find does hurt you in a lot of cases. And that's at least what our customers are telling us.
Now, just real quick, right, Kevin, this has nothing to do specifically with Office 365. This is a general, quarterly security and network assessment in general. Not necessarily has to do with Office 365. We take a look at a lot of different things. And again, we're going to review some of this, but it's very beneficial information. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we install it and things like that. But it's not necessarily just for Office 365.
And in fact, Chris, it's good for your on-premise, even your remote offices, and today, even more cloud environments than just Office 365. So if you're doing things like Salesforce.com and you're looking at network bandwidth and things like that, this type of thing will work. So we have, as you can see, there's about 10 or 12 different reports that this security assessment actually spits out. I don't want to go through all 12 because it would take us a lot longer than we have. So let's just pick out the top ones that our customers are using. So for instance, the security risk review. This will actually go in there, and there's a lot of detail behind these graphs.
There's a tremendous amount of detail. There's more reporting that really, it's, a lot of great information in there. But again, this is just some high-level shots. And what you're going through over here is just one piece of that report. This is just looking at the external vulnerabilities.
Right. And this is just, like you said, out of this one report, out of the 20 different variables that you could have, we're talking about external, the things that happen outside of your local area network. So you could see that this is looking at open ports. It's actually showing you which ones are high risk, which ones are medium, which ones are low, which ones you should take care of first. And then once this report comes out, then we actually develop a management plan for you to help you remediate, and we score these things for you.
Right.
So, if you're up around 100, that's something you got to work at
something you might
right
now.
now.
Might want to take a look at. And again, we're over here guiding you, giving you some suggestions based on this. And again, so we identify some of the opportunities to, improve. We then break them out to a medium, high, and low risk, and then score those within each of those three categories for you, and then work.
And then you can drill down into that opportunity. This is really like a dashboard for you to work on. So then once you pick one, you can drill into it, find out what needs to be done to remediate it, and then check it off your list, go to the next one. It's an easy tool to use. We also, let's be honest, users, that's one of our biggest things. And, remote interactive logons, terminal services, remote desktops, we find that that's a pretty vulnerable area for people that they're looking at. So this will look at how many failures you had, how many successes you had, who's trying to log in when, and so on. And as you can see, it breaks it down by user, breaks it down by time. It's really a great tool that our people are using, especially now with the cloud and everybody wanting to work from somewhere else. Everyone's trying to log in at different times from different places.
And again, we're not going to go through every one, but we're going to show you after this quickly where you can go to look at each individual report if you would like to see exactly what it is you get. So that was just a very, very quick overview of what one small little feature of the security assessment, and now we have the network assessment as well.
Right, and with the network assessment, again, 10 to 12 reports are spit out. This is all about your local area network, your wide area network, and looking at your connection to the cloud, whether it be Office 365, whether it be whoever. So just looking at one of the reports here, as you can see, we have just a quick discovery task that we found while we were out there. We also have, obviously, a risk score. So we're going to rate you between 0 and 100, show you where your risk is, where your bandwidth is being consumed. We're going to give you your overall score. And then, like I said, just like before, you can start drilling deeper into these things. So, for instance, a lot of our customers are looking to prioritize network traffic. Things like mail, they might want at the top. Things like streaming audio, they might want at the bottom. So these are a way to find out where you're using these things. And then, of course, you can go right down, look at your FSMO roles, do some analysis in there. You can detect local mail servers. You can time servers, all the different devices that are out on your network. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that people, especially as the cloud becomes more prevalent, is your network speed coming in and going out, because now sending mail, sending attachments is all part of it.
Yeah. So again, we're helping you score. We're doing some discovery, giving you a basic risk score that you can look at, and some useful, guidance that many of your peers are taking advantage of. And again, it's part of the benefits of being a MessageOps member.
And then one of the benefits, I'll tell you, we probably get the most feedback on, is it actually gives you a site diagram. And this is something that's printable. You can put it up, and as you're adding to your environment, you can start plugging things in, and you know where your devices are located. I know it's a simple Visio tool, but it really is great. Really, Chris, and I know you wanted to talk about the adoption platform.
But real quick, though, before we go over to that, though, so just a couple of questions that I always brought up is, so what does it take what type of privileges are needed to run the scan, and how does a member go ahead and if they said, okay, yeah, we want to run this on a quarterly basis to both the security and network scans, and we want to get all these great reports. What does it take from the user's perspective and our members? What are we doing?
Well, obviously, this is a security and a network test, so this can only be run by a high-level domain admin. You have to have some real credentials to be able to run these tests and get this information.
So we're not running the test.
Oh, no. In fact, it's a downloadable executable. It's a .NET executable that you just copy over to your domain controller, execute it. It will then gather the data, put it in a specific file type. What's the extension?
.ndf.
.ndf file extension, which no one can read unless they have the tools that we have, the keys. They send it to us. We actually extrapolate it. We do a little bit of analysis for them, give them back all the reports, and then they could start actioning on them.
Perfect.
Very simple.
It's very simple. But again, if you could just jump over to the website and just show them, you can go to Office 365 on MessageOps.com and just so we can show them where it is. That'd be great. If you go to MessageOps.com.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah. And if you go to MessageOps.com under Office 365 pricing, MessageOps.com/Office 365 pricing. Yeah. If you go in here, what will happen is you can go into this page here. It says Wow Me, and go down and click on the quarterly assessments there. And you can click on each one of these. These are hot links to an actual report where you can see
a sample
of the reporting that you're getting and exactly what it is, and you can do a real deep dive into everything that you get from each one of these different reports. So anyway, if you just go back there and just get rid of that, but that's where it is. It's MessageOps.com/Office 365 pricing, and you can go through as many reports and see what it is that you get for free. Okay. All right. This last thing that we're going to show you that you get is great. It's a product. Now you've migrated everybody. You're running Office 365, and what we've been hearing from a lot of our clients is how do we get people to start utilizing what we've invested in. And let's face it, Office 365 has a lot of great features. And in what we're hearing from our customers' help desks is that in some ways they're not a lot of help at all because they don't understand. If a customer says, well, how do I start using Sway? Well, the help desk guy, I don't understand Sway either. Or how do I, maybe use groups or whatever it might be. And how do, and some customers are asking, well, how do we create a vision and everything? And what we found is that most unsuccessful customers, when somebody says, can somebody tell me about Sway, or can somebody tell me about groups, or somebody tell me about Skype for Business, they'll go look it up on the internet, or I have something over here in OneDrive I can share with you, or I got it in an N drive. So what we've done here for our clients is we developed a single sign-on Azure product that gets completely customized with your logo, and it's your portal for all things Office 365. And we're just going to take a quick little tour around it. So why don't we just bring that down a little bit, Kevin? So as you can see, what is the Office 365 vision? And, we actually created 4 different vision statements that we're going to show you that you can choose from, or you can create your own. But if you go around, you'll notice that we have all these getting started with Office 365, learn your way around, business training, Office 365 by department, and adoption guide. We have the plethora of different, you can go ahead and click on one of those, different reference guides that you can go ahead and they can print out, put them on their cubes or whatever it might be. These are consistently updated. As a matter of fact, Kevin, you were updating it with the new Outlook on the web. You were doing the quick reference guides for those. So we're constantly keeping those up to date. We have something here of, I want to create and contribute to shared content. Well, stop storing content locally. start storing content centrally by using OneDrive for Business. So we're trying to help the clients understand the way what they want to do, how they used to do it, and how you can do it now by using different things.
And those are hot links too, right? So once they read that, they can click on there and it'll take them through a tutorial.
That is correct. And we're not going to click on every single hot link, but that's exactly what it does, Kevin. So then you have a bunch of how-tos just going along the top navigation bar. So, maybe you want to go ahead and discover Skype meeting broadcast. Well, everything you wanted to know or your users want to know, how do we do it? It's all right in here. It's great content for you and help desk to send them information and several other things. But as you can see, a tremendous amount of what you can discover with Office 365 in one central portal.
And Chris, that Skype meeting broadcast, that's a brand new feature. That's only been out like a month, and we already have all the content up there.
Yeah, we try to stay on top of this for you to keep that all up to date on everything that's getting produced for you. Then we also have different business scenarios on maybe how you can run a more effective meeting using Office 365 or store and share and sync contact or get work done from anywhere. So literally what we're trying to do for you, the admin and the end users, is to be able to have them do self-service and self-study and on-demand learnings. And then the next thing we've done is we've created a tremendous amount of snackable bite-sized videos that are 1 to 2 minutes long, real quick on how to utilize the different products that Microsoft has in Office 365. Great stuff. Then we have admin tips for the administrators, and again, depending on your login, again, it's using Azure. Active Directory, it knows based upon your login whether you're an admin or not. So if you're not an admin, they wouldn't get admin tips, but we have a lot of admin tips in here to assist those that are managing the Office 365. And then we have a self-service help desk, which is a very, very popular feature. And this is built on Azure SQL. So we have SQL, and as it says here, select a popular question from your organization. So this top piece here, as your company evolves along its path, in the beginning, a lot of the questions might be, how do I log in? Or I forgot my password, or whatever it might be. But a year into it, the top questions will change. Therefore, these up here will change based upon the questions that are being asked. Or you can select a scenario, which you can, and from a tremendous amount of drop-downs. Or you can go and just the end user can collect a free-form question. So maybe he just wants to know, how do I change the color of my calendar? Just change color of my calendar. And, well, look, I see what he knows.
Somebody asked that.
Somebody already asked it. So, find my solution. So what this does is what you saw Kevin just did. It just ran through the knowledge base, and it came up with 5 issues to resolve that client's question. Change the background color. Is that what you meant, Kevin?
No.
You want to change the appearance of your calendar? You want to assign a color category to a calendar appointment? So the point being is that we're serving up in a self-service fashion questions so they prevent calling the help desk from calling the help desk. But let's say it still hasn't resolved my issue. The end user would simply say, have help desk contact me. And it says, thank you very much for trying to resolve the issue. We're sending your query to help desk now, and they'll be in touch shortly. This then is routed to either, if you wanted MessageOps to manage your queue for you, we can do that. Or this could be routed to any help desk that you would like. And what they would get is a copy of the 5 solutions along with Kevin's name of saying, here's what he said and what he have troubles with.
Now, Chris, this is a great site, but how are our end users going to use this? How are they going to get to it?
Yeah.
Did we develop a tool for that?
Yeah. So real quick, if you go into resources, and in the resources, we created an email introduction of how would you send this out to your end users? So we developed a nice little email. And if you wanted to click on that, we developed allow that. So it's an email that you would send out, very simple. And again, all they have to do is to get to the portal. They simply click there. And we've also created a Outlook plugin for the ribbon. And all they have to do is it's 3 next, and it's now installed in your Outlook. And I think, Kevin, you just wanted to show them what that looked like. As you can see up here, you have in the Outlook ribbon, so that way if they do have a question regarding anything Office 365 or if they want a tutorial, it takes you right to the adoption site. And so then the reports section that you guys in admin or others, you can have these reports sent to you, or you can just look at on-demand metrics. And so really what this is about is you get a quick, what's going on in my environment, how many queries, how many were resolved, not resolved. But more importantly, you can look at what is going on, what are the questions that are being asked from my user base, and how maybe could we be more proactive and maybe setting up some sort of training session, if you would, to help address some of these popular queries, or better yet, if they're not asking, let's say they're not asking any questions about OneDrive, but yet you bought OneDrive and that's your mandate, maybe you're like, nobody's asking questions around it, so probably nobody's using it. Right? So maybe we have a questions there. Settings. And then here's where you simply go in, and if you wanted to go ahead and update your logo, and this is where you would customize the whole look and feel, you would simply go ahead and load your logo up, and that's what will come back up. And then down here, we know that each of our users, not everybody has an E5 solution, and maybe you don't use Yammer, so you would just take that off. And let's say you don't use Skype either, you want to take that off, and maybe you're not using Office 365 video, so you would take that off. This will then customize what is displayed on your site. So let's say you're rolling out a whole new product and you want to start off with just the basics, that's what you want displayed, and then you're going to say, now I'm going to roll out Yammer. Well, then you would simply go in, click Yammer, and that would then be displayed the next time the users log in.
It keeps it simple for them.
Very simple for the beginner. And then the other part is this isn't a one and done. We also provide, tips and tricks that you would subscribe to that you can copy and paste and send out to your user group. But once again, you pick what tips and tricks you want to be sent to you that you could forward, and how often do you want them to be sent out. And you can then forward those onto your user base to make sure that we are, creating useful, and we're not just, migrating you and then that's it. We're continuing trying to help the users get the most out of the investment. And then here you can see we collected 4 vision statements of why your company is moving to Office 365. As you can see, you can pick one of those, or you can create your own on why you move to Office 365, and that would be put on the home page. And then if you go down a little further, if you wanted to, create optional homepage content, you can put anything you wanted on there. And then here's where the help desk email would go. And when you said, have my help desk contact me, whatever this help desk email is, it would be routed. And even if you have like a Heat or any other help desk, most of them do accept email requests, and we'll route that to the help desk.
You could also send this to a group too. So if you had a help desk group, it would be sent to everyone.
If you wanted to send it to a Yammer group, where you could send it to a Yammer group if you wanted to, and say, can anybody help this person answer the question? So once again, it's there. And then the resources, we talk about how to push this out in a group policy, user self-install if they wanted to do a user self-install. But it's, literally thousands and thousands of individual people are hitting this site every day, utilizing it for their customer base. And once again, it's yours as a MessageOps member. And again, just ask for it, and we'll gladly get you there to try to bring it back. I think that's really it, Kevin.
That is.
Give us a call there. So let's check and see if there's any questions that came up.
Okay.
And we can go from there. But again, this is all for you, and if you want there. So if there's any questions, please let us know if there's any questions out there.
Right now, we haven't had a question, Chris.
You know what that means? We did an awesome job.
It looks that way.
We did an awesome job.
One thing just for you people, I mean, you can see it. There's our phone number down here, 877-788-1617, or you can just email us at info@messageops.com. We'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions individually. That's really all I got for them today, Chris.
Yeah, no, so again, we thank you for being a MessageOps member. We appreciate the business and your partnership, and we hope you find these value-added utilities and services important. We think they are, and much of it has come from your peers and the community of MessageOps members that said, could you help us with adoption? Can you help me with change management? Can you help me with e-discovery? And is there anything you can do to help me with network or security assessments? And these are the things that we've come up with. So if that's it and there's no questions.
And there isn't. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Have a great day.